For do-it-yourself wellness, download the YouTube app. Then, in the search bar, you need to type in @Expressive Avenues. Once you're on the Expressive Avenues homepage, choose videos, then tap the one you want to watch. For easier access in the future, be sure to tap the subscribe button. And you can tap the notifications bell if you want to be notified for future lessons. Now you have access to all the lessons, and you can watch them, pause them, rewind them, whatever you need. Also, don't forget, and this is very important, make sure that you're healthy and that you check things out with the doctor first before you start the program. Okay, we'll start with the warm-up. If you are in a group, start with the ball toss. If you're by yourself, you can start with coordination flow. After the warm-up, hit the pause button, and we'll go on to the exercise for this week, creative recall. The do-it-yourself creative recall starts with object retrieval. Placing a personal object, something like keys, phone, a wallet, in a specific location and leaving it there for a specific length of time. I'd place the object out in the open. I mean, you're not trying to hide it from yourself. You're just trying to exercise your short-term memory. Now, set a timer for about an hour and just go about your business. And when the timer goes off, stop, recall where you put the object, and then go and retrieve it. Now, you shouldn't need to search around for it because you've already recalled it in your mind. You should be able to just go straight to it. Now, spend some time thinking about and writing about the exercise. If you're using the Expressive Avenues Wellness Journal, the prompt is on page 13 under Lesson 10. If not, find a notebook that you can keep and refer back to. Then put a date and the length of time you set. Then ask yourself some questions like, was I able to recall what I left, what the object was? Where was the object? Was that easy for me to recall? And then ask yourself things like, how long did it take me to retrieve that memory? How easy or difficult was it? If this was an easy exercise for you, that's great. That's all the more reason to practice keeping these neural pathways strong. And if it was difficult, that's no problem. Just redouble your efforts to practice this process. The more you practice it, the more accessible it will be. I'll give you an example. I was putting out Christmas decorations and wrapping presents, and so I had all my tools, like I had my tape in one place, I had gift hooks in another place, just, tools everywhere. So I decided that what I would do is gather up all my tools, and that I would intentionally take each tool and put it in a spot. And then when I needed that, I would see if I could recall where I put it, and then I started paying attention to how quickly I was able to recall where I put it. Now, that's just a really simple, front of mind example because I just did it. But the point is, you can make these activities, turn them into a game to practice this skill, to keep it sharp. And when you do that, it gets easier and easier the more you do it. Semantic fluency takes a little more intentional time and a dedicated journal for comparison from one practice to another. Okay, in your journal, you're going to put down the date. Then you're going to decide on a category. It might be something like food or animals, a color. Then you're going to set a time. I usually start with 30 seconds, but if you want to start with a minute or two, that's fine. Just remember, the time you set needs to remain consistent from time to time when we do the exercise each time. So if you are doing 30 seconds for food on one date, and then say in a few days you do it again, and it's food, it needs to be for 30 seconds. So then you can compare them. So start the timer and then list as many things as you can think of that fall within that category in that time frame. Pause this lesson and work the exercise. And you can do this a couple of times in the same practice. Then you'll have a couple of lists to compare for the next time. And when you come back to the next time, you add the date, you've got your category set, you've got your time set, and then you'll just start. The more you do that, the more you have to compare. Now, if after you do this for a while, you start to feel like you've exhausted a category, you can always do subcategories. Like animals can become farm animals or wild animals or mammals. So start to specify those categories, and that's always an endless challenge. Okay, now I think this is fascinating. Ask yourself which way your mind works. Do you think in images? Do you think in words, the letters? Do you see a word in your mind? Are you triggered by a sound? What things trigger that memory for you? That just tells you something about the way your mind works, and maybe you want to continue working in the way that's easiest for you, and that's certainly valid. Or maybe you want to try to work in a different way, but you've got to know which way your mind is working before you can make that choice. The third creative recall exercise is image recollection. Now, this incorporates your imagination. So, for this sense recall exercise, I want you to imagine the last time you had a cup of coffee. Think about all of the different sensory experiences that you had with that cup of coffee. Is it smooth on the outside? Maybe it's warm because of the liquid inside. How does it feel in your hand? Was the weight of the mug different when it was empty versus when it was full? What was the temperature of the coffee? Was it hot? Did you have to blow on it when you brought the cup up to your mouth? Did the temperature of the mug change when the warm liquid went into it? Think about all of the different ways your senses were engaged with that cup of coffee. Can you imagine what it looks like? Let your recollection of this mug of coffee be as real as possible. Pause this lesson and work the exercise. Engaging your senses like that engages your brain. It engages your brain in the same way that your brain was engaged when you initially had a cup of coffee. So, practicing this kind of sensory recollection, sensory recall, ignites those same areas in your brain again. Now, although you may feel like you're just sitting around thinking, that time is not wasted. As you write down this memory in your journal, you may be surprised that even more details begin to emerge. The sensory pathways in your brain are being fortified every time you use them. Whether you're sitting around having a cup of joe or just recalling the experience.